CEE Brown in your face.
Have you heard of Everything at Once?
Do you know about Everything at Once?
It's internationally known.
Aliens listen to it.
It's the best ever.
If there's something you're looking for in the 814, or feeling a little bored and think there ain't no more, check out Everything at Once and allow it to be your source. It's that raw podcast that's always showing support, highlighting the scene. No need to take I-90 to Peep or 79 to see how it be. Interviewing your locals with mindsets that are global. Innovators and creators on every single upload. So much going on in the EPA.
Incredible content.
Everything at Once will keep you up to date.
Amazing guests.
What you doing? Come through and hang with Tony and Dave.
Community driven.
Bringing everything at once from around the way. Everything at once from around the way. Hey.
Please listen. We love you. Everything at Once.
Everything at Once.
It's time to introduce this show.
The best show on the face of the planet.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in today. We want to thank our Patreon producers, Brian G., Josh W., Ian D., Nick G., and Sadie M.
Patreon, it's an awesome way to support the show and say thanks. You can become a Patreon supporter by clicking the link below and choosing to be an intern, assistant, or producer level supporter.
If being on the production team is too much pressure for you, you can also send any contributions using our Venmo at Everything at Once Studios. We now want to thank all the local businesses who supported this episode. These businesses get the Everything at Once stamp of approval and are critical members of the Everything at Once community. We couldn't do it without them. With winter approaching, are there any last-minute details that you want to change or renovate around your home?
I might, but you know who to call.
Yeah! Ghostbusters!
No, Tony. No, not Ghostbusters. Solid State Construction.
Oh, yeah. Solid State.
Yeah.
Duh. Solid State takes pride in all their home remodeling projects. Solid State specializes in bathroom remodeling, kitchen renovation, window and door installation, custom design work, and more, including painting, flooring, drywall, sidewalk, decks. Get your free quote today by calling Nick at 814-397-7854. Solid people, solid product, Solid State Construction.
You know, Tony, with all these renovations from Solid State, I think we might have kicked up some bad energy around here. Yeah, oh yeah. Luckily, we know just the people to go see.
I know it this time. It's Ghostbusters.
No, Tony. Our friends at Cauldron and Thorne.
Wow. I feel really dumb right now, and I can't believe I didn't think of Cauldron and Thorne, the world's largest witchcraft and metaphysical shop, with everything a person needs to channel the spirit world.
Practice some self-care.
Find enlightenment.
Curse your enemies.
Protect yourself from your enemies.
Bless your friends.
Cleanse your space from negative energies. You can check out all the magical wares available at for these different practices we all love and enjoy at Cauldron and Thorne, 2724 West 8th Street, or online at cauldronandthorne.com.
This week, we have an incredible guest for you.
Love it. Love the Battle Chapel. I saw you guys at, I can't remember which show it was. I think it was
feature.
The female feature. That's right. Yeah, I took some awesome photographs of you guys. I love epic metal. It's just so fun. Mm-hmm. And I love like RP and Dungeons and Dragons role playing for people out there that don't know what RP is. But it's super fun. You guys dress up, you sing about battling and fighting, and I think it's fantastic. It just seems like a blast. You guys are having a lot of fun up there.
It is. We're basically nerding out on stage.
It's amazing. My inner nerd truly appreciates that. That's why I dressed up like a wizard for you today. I thought I'd let you know that like we have that common bond. Dave didn't
appreciate it.
I don't have any wizard or RP attire.
I thought it was
cosplay
themed.
gear.
It was Harry and Dudley.
Oh, yeah, there we go. And we're kind of under the stairs, I guess, a little bit.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. You could be like totally insulting me right now.
No, we're talking about Harry Potter. You know
Harry Potter. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you're Dudley, so that is still pretty
An insult.
insulting. Yeah.
Okay. You son of a bitch.
No, Justin, thanks for coming down. I've been looking forward to this podcast since I saw you that first night and you guys were performing, and I think it's fantastic. And not only are you a part of Battle Chapel, you are running Metal Massacre, which is coming up this Friday in the other universe where the timelines are correct or different. It'll be this Friday.
Yeah, it's July 22nd
Yeah,
now,
and
early in the morning.
That's right.
It's kind of like our own camp. What's that camp from The Lightning Thief?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Apparently you're not as nerdy as I hoped.
I mean, I'm familiar with The Lightning Thief. It's a Percy Jackson book, right? Yeah. I can't think of the name of the camp.
I was going to make reference to it being off the grid, protected, safe place for people to come enjoy music.
Where is it at?
It's at the former Gemini Park. It's literally where 26th Street and 12th Street meet in Springfield.
Oh my God, nice.
So if you can't take 90 and make a right and left turn, you just take either one of those.
All the way.
Yep.
Cool.
It's currently called Ohana Rental Properties.
Okay.
But we still call it Gemini because
that's what it was before.
That's what it was.
Cool. And you guys have been doing this for quite a long time now. Huh?
Started in 2005. Had to take a break from 2016 to last year because former owners got sick and then COVID and now new owners. They took a chance on us last year, saw how cool we were, and said we could do it again.
That's awesome. It's really cool to have a big festival like that. And there's camping, yeah?
Yeah, so the ticket, 20 in advance, 25 at the door, includes camping, 30 bands. Cheap. Yeah, and that's one of the things we did. Like, I'm not a promoter. I'm not a booker. I'm not out there like Dreadman, Jen Quirk, with Mayhem and Athena. They're awesome. They bust their ass. I'm a guy in a band that wants to get drunk with my friends and create a safe space for people to do music. That's why we founded it like we did.
That's amazing. And it's greatly appreciated. I still can't get over $20 because we just went to the Heron. Me and my girlfriend went to the Heron last weekend, and it was $80 for one day. And this is a whole weekend for $20.
Yeah,
of camping, fun, music. I'm sure there'll be activities and mayhem and good times.
Yeah, we'll have vendors. We'll have a food truck.
Hell yeah,
it'll be a good time.
Big fires.
Everybody can have a campfire and stuff, and then they have one bonfire area. Yeah,
nice. Big bonfire area. I can imagine a very big bonfire. There's something about fire and metal, and it's just like they go hand in hand. They're perfect.
Yeah. And one cool thing is it's in a pole barn, so it's rain or shine.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the whole stage area is covered. Both stages, actually. It's got 2 stages.
Nice.
And they alternate.
Back and forth, so the music never has to stop for very long.
Never stops. It's a pole barn with one big stage and another connected one. So you just kind of like...
scooch over.
This band. This band.
Nice. Excellent. And how many bands are playing for you guys this year?
30.
Wow.
That's a lot.
There's
a lot of bands. 31
spots, but Erie's favorite opener, Maniacal Device, is opening both days.
Oh, okay. Awesome. And bands coming from all over the tri-state area?
Pretty much. Mostly local, with some from Pittsburgh, from some Cleveland, a couple from Akron.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It's good to see the people making their way out here. And especially with something that's been around for so long, I got to imagine that people have been looking forward to it. So this is like your return year after that break.
Last year
was the return year after the break.
Yep.
So you're bringing it back, brought it back. I'm sure everybody is super pumped and missed it.
Yeah.
Do you think that, how many people are you guys like expecting?
So last year we had about 250 pay, and that was it coming back. I mean, it got really big before it shut down. And we're hoping to just keep growing it like we did before.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 30 bands, 250 people is a lot of people. Plus, like, that's small enough that you can really get to know like a lot of different groups. You know what I mean?
So it looks like a lot more because of those 30 bands, at least 15 to 20, depending on the year, camp all weekend. So you got 5 people on average per band, their significant others, kids. So it gets pretty big.
Pretty big. And I like that you guys have like actual camping area too. Like those big festivals are just not fun to me anymore, that you have to stay in your car and everybody's packed in like sardines, and it sounds like you guys got some space to.
So just to clarify, it's basically a field campground.
Okay.
And we kind of make a joke. This year we're going to name compounds because people get there. Like I set up by the gate and I have my people with me, Storm's within, Erica and them. They set up all along in this one area every year. You know, they'll have 15, 20 different tents. And then like Danny Guthrie and all those guys have an area. John Koppel and them, they all do. And so this year we're going to name compounds.
Cool.
Odd Atrocity last year was in the back corner in the woods.
Sounds like them. So is there anybody you're particularly looking forward to seeing this year?
One thing when I book this bands, I book all the bands that are cool, that we hang out with, that we're friends with. I can't wait to see all them. I wore Myconaut today because they're kind of newer to me, and I fucking fell in love with them.
Yeah, they did the Treehouse concert last year, and it was awesome. It was fantastic.
Cool.
Very
they
cool
were
one.
great. They just played the Hootenanny with us, and their set was spot on.
Yeah, they're very talented, and their music is interesting and good. And I like to say they're one of my favorites, but every time I say that something is my favorite, I feel like I'm picking my favorite child, and I shouldn't do that.
It's a very cool thing that we've got to experience over the last couple years on this podcast, is having so many promoters and musicians, and there's just so much talent in this city in comparison to the size of Erie. It's just so hard. Like, everyone's great. Yeah. You know, like, I don't say who's my favorite because it depends on the days. Some days I want to listen to different things, you know?
Yeah, and in this town, you can listen to anything on any weekend.
Right.
Sometimes it's kind of frustrating because you're like, well, I really want to go see them, but I really want to go see them. And you got 3 or 4 shows happening at one time.
Yeah, it's crazy. When I signed up for Jack's emailing list from Two Man Happy Hour, and he sends out all the shows for each week, and it's like...
I didn't know that, like, for
insane.
real, I didn't know there was that much going on. Like, when we have people on, you usually hear, like, Philly on the Rocks, like, you know, the King's Rook, Basement Transmissions. There's a couple other that
Room 33
Room
has
33,
people
yeah,
pretty
stuff like that,
regularly.
Rathskellers, you know. But we usually hear, like, the same, like, 5 or 6 venues over and over again. So when I first saw his list, I was like, holy fuck, where are all these people playing at, you know?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. So tell me about Battle Chapel. This is your pet project. How long have you guys been playing together?
So Battle Chapel's just under 2 years, and it's kind of funny how it started. Like everything good, it started at a bar.
Yeah, great.
Twisted Elk Brewery, me and my best friend Ken, we go there all the time. The cook there, the chef, is Tim Semerad. And we were just bullshitting because we're metal fans.
Right.
I've always been a huge folk fantasy metal. I'm not as far into the power metal as he is. I'm more like Alluvietti, Battle Lore, stuff like that. He's more like Sabaton. And we just got to bullshit. And it's like, hey, we have this common thing. And he goes, by the way, I have 10 songs I've already written.
Oh, well, perfect.
So we started talking. We started jamming. And then we pulled in Phil Coleman on drums. Right. Amazing drummer. He, at the time I was in Joe Nameless, he filled in for us. Huge fan of his other bands. Yeah. Brotherhood of the Jams, just the shit.
Right.
And then we decided to pull in a female singer too. And
she's fantastic.
I'm one of those people that, like, when we were talking about putting the band together, I'm going, well, who do I fanboy over? Right. Like, I love Vernotica. I love Alex's voice. Asked her to join Battle Chapel. When she said yes, it was like, yay!
Right.
but, you know, and then, like, I think with her voice, you know, my kind of lower voice and then screams, I just think it goes so good together.
Right. And the vocals and the singing, it's still very approachable for people that aren't like super into like growly, dirty vocal metal too.
Right.
And the whole premise is really fun too. I just think it's super cool to see bands like playing out like that fantasy type story through music, you know what I mean? Instead of like reading Lord of the Rings, we have Battle Chapel singing about Harrenhal from what was it? I can't think of it right now.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I was like Dragon Age, Dragon something. Like no.
But I do want to add too, you know, when it came to bass, we brought in Steve Jacobson, who I'd played with for years, and Scarwork, and then Ice Cream, which is still one of my favorite band names. And then when Ken left, and now he's kicking ass to Scars of Agony, he moved to guitar. Steve did, and we brought in Jake Cole, who's phenomenal. So
cool. I see you're wearing a Mjolnir necklace.
Yes, the owner all the time.
All the time.
Yep.
Are you big into the folklore aspects of Norse mythology?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I were to say I had a specific religion, that would be the closest to it. I'm not necessarily somebody that's like praying to Odin every day.
Right.
I like the general structure, and I like the appeasing gods through action. I don't like the begging for forgiveness and stuff. And nothing against that, you know.
No, for sure. I totally agree. I totally understand. And I think that there's a lot of honor and glory spread all throughout like that Norse mythology too. It's where like men can be men and women can be women, and I appreciate that a lot. And women can like that line is blurred through like the Valkyries and stuff like that.
I was going to say, like, I love it because women are appreciated for their femininity, but they're also appreciated if that's not the route they want.
Exactly.
They want to be brutal ass Viking, you know, warriors. They're worshipped for that too.
Yeah,
exactly.
shield maidens.
Exactly.
Right. There's a Norse Heilung. Have you ever listened to them before?
Heilung, yes.
They're super interesting, and I want to go. I know they were playing in Pittsburgh like a couple years ago. One of my friends went to see them.
I had friends go, and
they look amazing. All of their videos are super cool. I'm sure their live performance is absolutely incredible.
If you get a chance, watch their Red Rock Amphitheater in Colorado video.
Yeah.
Because all of their chanting's just reverberating off the rocks.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I can imagine. And I think that it's really cool when bands bring those kinds of aspects into the mainstream. You know what I mean? Or maybe not mainstream, but bring that to a larger audience instead of it being like some hidden or secret or gatekept type of music or spirituality or whatever you want to call it, you know?
If you like the more upbeat songs they have with the guy and the girl singing, Delaraine is amazing too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'll have to check them out. I like to put them on sometimes at work. Some of the upbeat stuff and the more chanty stuff, because I feel like it's just good, chill, like background music. You know what I mean? Steady drums. Like,
Wardruna is very good for that too.
yeah. Cool. Do you feel like you bring any of that folklore, mythology, or ethos into Battle Chapel?
I think it's where a lot of my motivation comes to, comes from. I think we all bring something different, which is so awesome in this band.
Right. It feels like you have a lot of freedom for interpretation in like epic metal in general.
Yeah. And like I said, Tim kind of wrote the songs to begin with, and we've all added our little piece to those. And now as we're working on our second album, it's cool to see all these different ideas come together.
Right. And you're not, I feel like there's no constrictions either. You know what I mean? Like, you get to be able to be the storyteller that you want to, and it may not have to be true or authentic or real, because I talk about this a lot, how I really appreciate that in a lot of different types of music and a lot of different types of things in general, the authenticity and the genuineness of a situation. But there's also so much room for creativity and artistic liberties when you're writing like fantasy style music.
It's a totally different kind of music, but I am well known to be like a certified deadhead. But they do that a lot in their original music. A lot of storytelling characters. They have their own lore, you know, like that the fans follow. So that's, even though I'm not admittedly as keen on like metal, I definitely appreciate that in other types of music as well. I love a good storyteller.
So I believe in order for anybody to be a good musician, they have to appreciate all music.
Yeah.
So I listen to everything. Like one of my favorite bands is Jen Wigmore. It's kind of like a singer-songwriter chick. I don't know if you've ever heard her, but she's phenomenal. Obviously discussed like Deloraine and Vardruna and everything. And then I'll listen to some good rock and roll country.
Yeah.
Not pop country, but some of the old stuff. I got Johnny Cash tattooed on me.
Right.
Some CCR.
Oh, CCR, Tom Petty. CCR is the ultimate campfire music. Like when you're sitting around a fire with a beer in a hand and John Fogerty's just blaring behind you, that's...
I love my country. It's cool, but nothing makes me feel more American than it's like a summer night and someone puts CCR on. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Right. Ever since I was like young too. They've been around forever. I mean, I don't know if they're really making any new music. I can't imagine they've made any new music in a long time, but like that classic rock has just always been there, you know what I mean? And it's always still brought those same feelings of, you know, Americana and nostalgia and the South and just all the good things that come with it. Riding down on a river. That's what I imagine. That's what comes to mind when I think of CCR is like on the river, like a steamboat or something like that, like traveling down the Mississippi and just, I don't know, doing whatever the steamboat does.
I'm very close to you with like the campfire. I also think like sitting on the back porch, you know, like that kind of vibe when you know.
Yeah. Cool. Have you guys established any lore for Battle Chapel yet?
So when we was talking about Battle Chapel, the name, and we have an intro to the CD that kind of explains it, which is real cool. This girl in the UK, she recorded it. But basically, you know, years of war, struggle, and it all comes, you know, to an end, and there's a time of peace. So all the great nobles get together and, you know, talking, how do we prevent this from ever happening again? So they create the Battle Chapel and the bards, which is what we are. We're battle bards, to tell the stories of struggle, of conflict, of heroes, of the men and women that threw themselves into the war machine to create this world. So we idolize those people and learn from those people to try to maintain peace and honor.
Awesome. That's a noble goal for the battle bards of Battle Chapel, to continue a peaceful reign for the kings and queens, and to share the message of hope and inspiration and heroes and the follies of man in the past. Yeah. So do you guys have like specific stage names? Have you picked any names yet for yourself? No,
Not
bar
really.
names?
We kind of have joke names in our chat and stuff, but we just basically go by our names.
Okay.
Maybe that'll develop.
Maybe that'll develop the lore over time, you know what I mean?
Right now we're more focused on, because we don't play a lot, we focus on a show a month or something, and we're trying to build up a stage show.
Yeah.
You know, like getting props, stuff like that to add to it. But we're all working full time, and a lot of us are in multiple bands. For the first time in a long time, I'm not. You know. So.
Yeah, it makes it tough to coordinate. And how many people are in the band? You have 2 vocalists, 2 guitars, bass, and drums.
Yep.
So 6.
6. Yep.
It's tough to coordinate that much too, especially when you're working full time. You got this festival, a lot of different things going on in the area.
Yeah.
Cool. How do you make it work?
Good communication. I like to consider us a drama-free band. Like everybody gets along with everybody. If somebody has to cancel, you know, it sucks. Like we have to cancel practice, but we all get it. We're all adults.
Right.
And we just get along and we like it. The other thing is it's all recorded to backing tracks. Obviously, if you hear it, it's all that symphonic.
Right.
So we're all dedicated musicians that practice at home. I run it at home, guitars, drums, everything. So practice is more of like a dress rehearsal for a play. Like
Right.
we've already learned our lines. We're practicing at home, and now we're just getting together and do it together.
Right. That makes a lot of sense, and it goes a long way when people are or can be independent in their practice. You know what I mean? Like you're not just picking up the guitar or whatever instrument day of or day before to try and play. You know, you're polished and it sounds good, and it shows when you guys are on stage for sure.
Yeah, well, it's a struggle for me because I've always been death metal guy, and now I'm doing 4-person harmonies.
Yeah.
You know, so it takes a lot of work.
It's a whole different animal. And I think that's part of like the nature of epic metal in general is just like all of the harmonies and the symphonicness and the beautiful sound that really makes it special and makes it come together in a good way. Yeah. So with this festival coming up and Battle Chapel getting ready, have you guys been... What kind of like props and stage stuff are you trying to do or trying to perfect?
We're trying to come up with a good theme. We want banners. We want like swords and skull type stuff.
I put some swords on the table for you
Saw that.
just in case a battle happened to break out. And
What I want to do is at the medieval fair, I want to build a sword into my mic stand.
oh, that'd be sweet.
Because I have this horrible thing I hate where I grab the mic stand and it just looks stupid. So I want it to be the hilt of the sword there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Be able to pull it out too.
I don't think venues would allow that.
Well, that samurai sword is like styrofoam, so it might be okay.
That wouldn't be fun, though.
No.
Yeah, but you thought it was real.
Fair enough.
And they make them really nice too. I actually wanted to start an underground sword fight club, kind of like Fight Club.
Like LARPing.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just like start it in the front yard and really freak out my neighbors a little bit and have people beating each other with swords and invite the neighborhood children and have a good old time out there. But it never quite came to fruition. It's a huge bummer. And if anybody out there is listening and you guys want to join Sword Fight Club, let me know because I'm still totally down.
It's never too late.
It's never too late. Have you ever LARPed before?
No.
No?
I want to. I think it's awesome. And I don't know if you know, there's a castle in Menor, Ohio.
Really?
Yeah, there's a park that has this beautiful castle in it.
Yeah, it's real cool.
And every time I've been there, there's huge LARPing groups. I've always wanted to figure out how to join because I just think that's so cool.
It looks like a ton of fun.
Yeah.
I did like when I went to Pitt, we had like a zombie apocalypse LARP style thing. Obviously there weren't like swords or anything like that, but we had like Nerf guns and like marshmallow shooters and stuff like that. And we were battling the zombies, and I feel like that was the closest I've ever been to LARPing. I don't really know if there's any LARPing around here. I mean, that's the first I've heard of like anything, and that's over in Mentor.
When I was in high school, so this was like 20 years ago almost. You could never do it nowadays. We probably shouldn't have done it then, but the closest I ever came to anything like that is my buddies and I. We used to take out our airsoft guns and just fucking go to like Frontier Park and just shoot at each other.
Yeah.
You can't do that anymore.
I was from the country, so it was BB guns.
Yeah.
You'd put on Carhartt jackets and
Sure,
just shoot the
something
shit
thick
out of
enough,
each other.
yeah.
See, you're smart. We didn't have glasses. We were just in T-shirts. My one buddy had like a, like a semi-automatic airsoft. Like you just get welts all over the place, just running all around Frontier Park, just like shooting, and it could be fun, to LARP, I guess.
I'm sure it's definitely fun. I feel like it is a bummer that you can't do that super publicly anymore. Not in Frontier Park, but I'm sure somebody's woods somewhere. There are probably some children right now running around with airsoft guns.
For sure.
Blasting each other.
No, I wouldn't want to do it anymore. That shit hurts. That shit hurts real bad. I was this dumb teenager,
I mean...
But LARPing could be fun. It sounds a lot less painful. Or at least from what I've seen.
You want me to hit you with one of these swords?
No, I don't.
You think it'll feel good?
I don't think it'll hurt as much as a fucking airsoft BB would.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
100%.
The only fake one there is the samurai sword. The other ones are real. They're not sharp. But I feel like it would definitely still do some damage.
That'd hurt.
It would hurt.
It would hurt.
Maybe not as bad as the other one.
I'm not saying it wouldn't hurt, but have you ever been shot by an airsoft gun?
Yeah.
Yeah, it hurts.
It stings a little bit, but I feel like that leaves like a devastating bruise.
So I think we should settle this next week.
With a battle.
Bring an airsoft gun. You got your sword. I'll referee.
We'll fight
That
it out.
sounds like a good plan. We'll record it.
I feel like I can
It'll
power
be like a
through.
scene from Highlander.
Yeah, I feel like I can power through a bunch of airsoft bullets and strike you down, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they're gonna kill you. You could definitely run at me and hit me, but it hurts more the closer you get to the gun.
Ooh,
So,
yeah.
like, if you're getting right there, I'll put it right on your goddamn
I feel like I
forearm.
only need one blow, though.
Maybe, depending on where you hit me. We'd have to have rules, though. Like, we can't hit each other in the face.
I feel like we can hit each other in the face, but we'll
No.
both just wear full face helmets.
If we had helmets, I
have
guess that would be
helmets.
okay. If we had helmets, I guess that would be fine. There's a lot of, CTE, plus I could shoot your eye out. You could smack my eye out with that thing.
Yeah, we wear helmets, and then we just battle it out. And I feel like I'll give you one solid strike to the arm and incapacitate you. You'll drop your gun, and I'll win the battle. That's what I'm guessing.
I guess we'll see.
I feel like there's no way an airsoft gun could stop me.
So there's a little back area in Gemini that we can do this at Metal Massacre.
Ooh.
As long as the insurance
Ooh.
people don't see this.
Yes. Yeah. Don't walk. Look away. Nobody tell.
We're going to have, like, a little, please stand by graphic for this 30 seconds here.
Right.
It's going to be boom, swing, ow, I'm done.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, I'm hoping that Dave has an airsoft gun there. He can pow, 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 and I'll just dodge Matrix style around the bullets and then strike him down.
It's too bad, and it wouldn't be for you, it'd be for me with the actual gun. It's too bad that it would be way too much of a liability and other people potentially getting hurt. But it would be awesome if the pit opened up
And then
we
we
just have
battle.
our fight in the middle of it.
That would be the way to do it for sure. Just wall of death to close it out.
Yeah. And it would have to be during a band, absolutely.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
definitely, dude.
Gelatin skeleton.
Right. Yeah, we got the big circle pit going, and then all of a sudden in the middle we just appear and battle it out, and then wall of death on our dead bodies.
We could do it with the swords. We can't do it with the gun. Someone would 100%
Yeah.
get hit.
So at our first show, we bought a bunch of foam swords, and we want to do it again and handed them out. So when you were in our mosh pit, you had foam swords.
Oh,
It's
nice.
excellent.
It was a lot of fun. People were sword fighting while we were singing.
Yeah, the samurai sword's pretty nice, but it has a fiberglass core. The one that I have upstairs has a wooden core, and it's wrapped in styrofoam. So I feel like that
would hurt.
That one would hurt. This one, I feel like I would break if I hit you hard enough with it.
Yeah, that'd be like some Samurai X.
I have
Rurouni
samurai-
Kenshin's, this type stuff.
I have a samurai costume upstairs too.
This reminds me of it. This could be good. This could be next level stuff. It reminds me of something that would happen at the end of a Metalocalypse episode.
Yes.
Just we're not gonna kill each other, but just a little sword fight while some
No big
badass
sword
metal's
fight.
playing. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I need a solid intermission breakdown. You know what I mean? Or it gets real quiet, just boom, boom, steady guitar rhythm, really gentle, and then all of a sudden, once the battle starts, they just bust into the breakdown. We're fighting it out, and then once one of us is defeated, the wall of death just collapses on us. That's my fantasy now.
It would have to be during Soul's collapse.
Yes.
It'd be dope. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it as well. I'll use the samurai sword too. That way I don't severely damage you with the wooden cord other sword.
So, speaking of the kind of transition in a little bit, how you feel the buzz has been around this year's rendition of the Massacre? You think you're going to get a significantly bigger crowd than last year?
I think it's
Pretty good.
it sounds pretty good. And
You're coming on
everything.
this podcast, so now everybody's going to hear it.
Yeah. A lot of things play in. Weather's obviously a huge factor. It is
Right.
rain or shine, which is in our benefit because it's covered. Even if you can't camp, it's still music the whole time.
Right.
You're still going to see 30 bands.
No matter what.
Yeah.
Plus, I feel like a festival isn't a festival if it doesn't rain in Erie.
Right. One thing that sucked that I had to change the date, and we're competing with Chafee's. And granted, it's different genres,
Right.
but a lot of people float between all that. So
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I know we have a couple bands that are doing both, and I'm sure we'll have some fans bouncing back.
Yeah, Chafee's definitely has a lot of name recognition around here. Like, it is the festival. I don't want to, but you know what I'm
No,
saying.
you're not
It's
insulting
the
me.
Festival.
Yeah.
It was a festival when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
You know, so like, yeah, and it's right down the road from where I grew up. So
You guys are both in the same neighborhood, kind
Yeah.
of, too. You're not too far away from each other.
Right.
And $20, like, I still can't even get over that. Like, that's an easy bounce back and forth.
and
Yeah.
to be fair, if they haven't bought their ticket yet, it's 25. At
Oh,
the gate.
25. Yeah,
I mean,
sorry.
that's
Yeah.
still,
No, that's
That's
still-
still,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, dude, that's
That's less than
amazing deal.
$1 a band, and you get camping.
right. I mean, I'm going to this festival in the Poconos in August, and it was like the early bird tickets were like $360.
Yeah.
You know, so 25 is mind blowing.
Yeah. I mean, Chafee's, I think, is like 140 to 180 for the weekend.
Yeah.
So if you're spending that much, you might as well spend another 25 and pop out to Metal Massacre just to kick it, take in a couple bands, and do your thing. You know what I mean? And there may be an epic battle there. Who knows what's going on? Me and Dave might show up. We might have to make this fantasy a reality. We should make it a short film, though. I think. We both like got a train. We'll just take off the next week of work, both of us, and we'll train and get in peak physical condition during that time and record the whole thing, and then we'll edit it into a like a 10-minute short film that'll culminate in like a really silly battle.
I'm not taking a week off of work.
I just want to hear the 80s synthetic pop music with the training montage.
Right? Yeah, dude. We'll throw Eye of the Tiger in there. I feel like it's old enough that it doesn't have copyright anymore.
It's definitely still copyrighted, dude.
No, well,
I guarantee it's still copyrighted.
I mean, it's still copyright, but some of them are free to use after a certain number of years now.
I don't think Eye of the Tiger is at that point yet.
I don't know.
Wait, we'll look it up.
More will be
after the show.
revealed.
Yeah.
More will be revealed. So, no LARPing in the past, possibly in the future. All the people out there listening, watch out for the battle. And if it's not that this weekend or this Friday or whatever the universe wants, someday, me and Dave will battle it out Airsoft versus Styrofoam sword and settle this. What's superior once and for all? I feel like that's been a long battle. You know what I mean? Guns versus sword.
No, I don't think it's been a very long battle.
I feel like
maybe
maybe I
the guns
watched-
replace the swords. Like,
Maybe I watch too much anime.
I think you do. I mean, it's good to live the fantasy, and we're using fake weapons. And I don't want to talk about this too much more, but there's a reason why armies use guns and not swords. I mean, you got the bayonets. I don't even know if they still use those, but like you got bayonets in case you're like too close to shoot somebody. But nobody's got swords, dude. People shoot it. Guns win that for sure.
Well, I'm about to prove them all wrong.
All right. We'll talk about this some other time.
Some other time.
Yeah.
Okay, Dave. We'll postpone the battle for now.
Okay. Moving on.
Moving on. So, where do you think that the future of Battle Chapel is?
Just continuing to grow. I mean, we're not a band that's trying to be signed and tour the world, but shows getting bigger, trying to get on festivals in 2025, like bigger festivals, increasing our stage show, doing a little more coordinated on stage. I don't want to say choreography, you know, but a little more in unison, getting that second album out.
Yeah. Where are you at on recording it? Are you guys recording it
We're
yourselves?
still, yeah. So Tim has his own little studio.
Nice.
The whole first album sounds immaculate. He
Right.
did it all. And we're going to go the same route, only we'll live record drums this time. And
Oh, no.
yeah.
Live recording drums is a huge undertaking.
It is, yeah. He won't do that. We'll probably get him live recorded somewhere else and then add him into the mix.
For sure.
Everything else at his house. It's nice. It's an apartment, so the people next to him have to love my unfiltered voice.
I'm sure they do. We're super fortunate that all of the neighbors around here really like the Unplugged concert series. But if they didn't, we would still do it.
Yeah.
Cool. So where are you at with recording? How far along are you into now?
Just starting it off.
Just starting?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I wish you guys the best of luck.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Check out Metal Massacre. Check out Battle Chapel. Y'all are amazing. We love to see what you're doing out there. And y'all have a great night. Make sure, is there anything else we need to talk about really quick?
No.
We need to tell the people how to find you.
Yeah. We're on Facebook, Battle Chapel, Gemini Metal Massacre. The event is Gemini Metal Massacre 13. If anybody's free, oh wait, never mind. This comes out after that.
Okay. Yeah.
It already happened, and it was
that's
fucking
right.
awesome.
It was amazing.
It was awesome. It was the best time ever.
Mind blowing.
The ticket party kicks ass.
Hell yeah.
Very nice. And what, again, for the viewers, listeners out there, what is the exact location of the festival again?
So Metal Massacre is at Gemini Music Park or Ohana Rental Properties. It is where Route 5 or 12th Street and Route 20 or 26th Street meet. Take either one of that point, it's on the left. It's a half mile down a dirt road, which you can see the campground from there, with cornfields on one side, woods on the other, and 90 behind it. Awesome. So we can be as loud as we want, as late as we want.
Hell yeah. Go check it out, people.
It's so easy to find. You just get on 12th or 26th Street or 90.
Yeah, 90 to the last exit in PA. You make a right, go half a mile. You make a left, go 2 miles. It's right there.
Bam.
I have all these ghetto-ass signs that I made like 10 years ago that will be out there.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us for a little while. We appreciate it. We wish you all the success in Metal Massacre and Battle Chapel and all of your other endeavors. Thanks for coming by. And thank you, everybody, for listening this week. Thanks to all our sponsors, all the people who hit those likes and subscribes. Y'all are the best. Peace out, everybody.
Adios.